Hey, I hope you're doing well today. We're back with our second installment of what I'd like to call spiritual vitamins. I remember as a kid, and unfortunately, still to this day, my mom asked me, Jasper, are you taking your vitamins? Well, the reality is we do sometimes need vitamins to make sure that our health is at its best level. But the same thing is true for our spiritual life. We need to make sure that we're getting all of the nutrients that we need to live a prosperous and successful spiritual life. Today, I want to continue and give you your spiritual vitamins. I want to shine a spotlight on a familiar passage of scripture. I'm sure you've heard it before. It's found in the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. Hear what it says. For I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. You know, many people love this scripture. It's one of those scriptures that it's great to have framed on a nightstand or on a wall. But I've found out that many people don't understand the context, the situation that God's people were facing when God gave them this good word. You see, God's people were living in exile. Their king was in prison. The temple was ransacked. All of their possessions were destroyed. And they were taken to a strange land and forced to live in an unfamiliar culture. To them, they were facing the worst time of their lives. But in their worst time, God gives them a word of good news. In the lowest point of their lives, God speaks a word of hope and a future. You know, before the iPhone, people would take photos on cameras with this silly thing called film. Maybe you've heard of it. In order to produce a picture, a photographer would need to develop the film in a dark room in order to produce a great photo. Can I tell you that sometimes in our lives, God works just like that? Hear me clearly, no matter how bad it seems. Sometimes what seems to be your worst days are just the moments that God has you in his spiritual dark room, getting you ready for your best photo. You might be at a low point, but I want to tell you that God does see you. He knows what you're going through. And yes, he still has a plan for you, a plan to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a hope and a future. One songwriter said, he's preparing you for something that you cannot handle right now. This is what I want to tell you. It may be dark right now, but sooner or later, you need to get ready to step out of your dark room. Do you believe it? Do you receive it? I'm so excited that I'm able to share this good news with you. What I want to tell you is that very soon I'll be starting a virtual Bible study. And it will not be on Facebook or social media. We'll be using another platform. So it's very important if you want to be a part of this study, I encourage you to visit my website, jasperpaultaylor.com, and sign up for the virtual Bible study. My prayer, once again, is that God would bless you in immeasurable ways and that you would experience the supernatural favor of God. God bless you. Be encouraged. God loves you, and so do I. Take care.